Hey, this is George,
Hey, this is Fred.
and this is Real Talk with George and Frazier. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Not much, man. Good day, good day. Know what you do, right?
Um,
Thursday.
oh yeah, tomorrow's Friday. You know, we had some snow here this morning, so I was up at 4 o'clock clearing off my wife's car and everything, and doing all that good stuff.
I'm
I
kind
realize you can't relate. I realize you can't relate, but I'm just telling you what my day was like.
of, I'm kind of just out. See, with me being on the heat side, I kind of want to see snow. You on the snow side, want to see some heat. So you gonna switch up a little bit. Though you gonna feel like show some snow.
Yeah, you
Pass
know,
it up.
one day we'll get there.
One day,
Um,
right? Housewife.
have you been following what's been going on in the news? I mean, everybody's talking about the second impeachment trial.
Yeah, man. That's something. That could be something. I mean, you threw a lot of people in the bus, and now you got to do a lot of thinking.
Yeah, I mean, it's so bad, brother, that he can't even get qualified lawyers to represent him. I was watching that in the news last night,
Oh
and,
wow.
and it's just like, you know, for the political side of this, the impeachment, you may say, yeah, he may not be convicted because, of the non-political will that the senators have
Yeah.
and fears of the repercussion. But the damage that this has done to this country, you know, our kids are going to be talking about this to their kids. I was alive when the U.S. president got impeached twice. I
Yeah.
was alive and saw them storm the Capitol. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how severe it's going to be. But the best thing about this is the fact that now that he's a private citizen, everything that he had put on hold over the last 4 years are now fluid. I don't know if you saw this or not, but the Georgia DA is, is filing a criminal investigation against him for the phone call that he had with the Secretary of State trying to hustle up votes. You know what I mean? And what makes it so bad is the fact that they recorded the conversation and released it. So he can't say, oh no, this, that. You actually hear him on the phone giving a number of the votes that he needs to rustle up in order to beat Joe Biden, which is illegal. There's
Yeah.
three there's three charges there. One of them is a felony.
Yeah.
And you get convicted of a felony in Georgia, the minimum jail time is 12 months, you know. And
Yeah.
I was,
Longer than that. With Georgia is
oh
right.
well,
Longer
he's
than that.
white.
Georgia.
He's a white guy, so if anything, he'll get 12 months. But the bad part about it is the fact that everybody thought that the Georgia governor was going to be able to just pardon him the way that Trump pardons people,
Yeah.
and he can't because all pardons have to go through a pardon review board. The governor doesn't write pardons, so
Exactly.
he's damned if he does and damned if he
He's
doesn't.
done.
Particular one, and because it's a criminal trial, I don't think he's going to be able to plead out the way that everybody thinks he's going to be able to plead out and cut a check. So
No, that's true. My only thing I tell you the thing is what actually probably get him convicted if he does get is repercussion of the fact that they stormed the castle. They stormed the Capitol. That's the whole key to. If he didn't did that, I believe this trial wouldn't even happen. But the significant plus officers died, and the fact of the matter is people that still there still don't believe they was wrong. They still believe they were actually right about it, and still follow him. And he still have a backing, even though we know he's wrong. We know he's wrong, but the fact of the matter is they still back him because they still believe in what he said, what his beliefs was, and how he feel that he should have won second round because he had so much stuff he had actually planned to do.
right.
You know?
Well, the thing is, the reason why I think that this particular trial is important because it's going to address all of those things that he believed he was right on. Only in a criminal trial can you bring all your evidence and say, or any trial for that matter, can you bring all your evidence and say, this is my proof that this happened, this didn't happen. So, this will be the trial where all that stuff can be discovered in court if it's real, if it's not real, if it's real evidence, you know what I mean? Everything.
Exactly.
So, you would want that to happen in a court of law to prove your point. Because if I always said this, look, it didn't take 60 court cases. Okay. He lost 60 court cases. Okay. For this election, 60. If Donald Trump would have had one court case with proof that this election was fraudulent,
Yeah.
him and all the news media that follows him, this would have been the story for the next year. of
Yeah.
how this particular, just one of
Yeah.
how this happened. But to go through 60 court cases in 5 different states and lose all of them, even all the way up to the Supreme Court, and lose all of them, you just sit there and go, what are those judges that you put on the bench see that nobody else sees?
Exactly. That's
When you
true.
even, yeah, but when you even have judges in certain cases begging you, give me some evidence, let me help you,
Exactly.
and they don't have anything. You
Nope.
know, it's crazy. It's just
Yeah.
crazy.
But you gotta remember when if you got circumstantial evidence, they probably took it. He didn't have that.
Yeah, no circumstantial evidence, nothing.
He had
No,
nothing. He had a voice of mouth saying they cheated. That didn't mean on the football field say, hey, the referee, you cheating, ref. You're cheating, ref. You shouldn't do it. The ref do this. I ain't see it. If I ain't see it.
the bad part about it is all those lawyers that were sitting there talking now, everybody's getting sued. $2 billion, $1.7 billion. And
What?
I'm like, he's a person, he's a man. This is a civil suit. He doesn't have $1.7 billion. Why is the money so high? The money is so high because even if they break it down, in some defamation lawsuits,
Yeah.
when you win a lawsuit, you don't win all of it per se. Like you could get a judgment where the judge would be like, out of 1.7, you win a 33% judgment on that.
Exactly.
So just imagine what 33% of $2 billion is. You know,
Shh.
it's going to bankrupt them. It's
They'll
going to
pay him.
bankrupt them. You know.
Remember, I don't know how he do it. He had a way to bounce back. Man, how he like a bounce back king.
Oh yeah.
He beat down. I think he been bankrupt so many times to hell. Somebody won a Super Bowl as many times he beat with. But guess what? He
Man,
bounced back.
he
For
Teflon, the Teflon Don. That's what I used to call him. Man, nothing sticks to him. Nothing sticks to him. Nothing. He can say what he wants to say. Boom. Nothing sticks to him.
But you know what got him election though? I mean, they be with us. They be with 90% when we first won, before everybody found out how he really was, people was on his side. Okay, he said what they wanted to say. He wanted to see what people wanted to say for all these years. Help the economy, made the economy better. Do this. Okay, yeah, cool. But when you got in there, it was a total opposite song. It wasn't the same song. Even
I
some
knew
people say the same thing.
that's true, but I knew that we were going to have a problem after that Access Hollywood tape came out.
Oh
Because
yeah,
I was like, no, the only reason why I'm saying that is because if you just set aside that
yeah,
and act like everything else is okay, then that means everything that he does and says from this particular point on is okay. And you've heard me say that on this show time and time again. At every time I think we at the lowest, something happens where you just shake your head and be like, "Oh no, I can't believe he did that." You know,
yeah.
and we went through that for 4 years. There's a lot of psychological people have a lot of psychological issues on both sides. Some of it's
Yeah,
traumatic, some of it's whatever it is, because you're just like, you can't believe we devolved into that. And now
exactly.
you have senators who, when Bill Clinton got impeached, they were waving the Bible and they were holier than thou and this,
Yeah,
that. And now these are some of the same people that you can't even look at them in their face. You're not even the same person.
exactly.
It's crazy.
Not trying to be funny, but Clinton do not very close to what he did, and they convicted him for they made no personally. He got convicted of some stuff make no sense because I mean, hey, let's be honest with picture. What did he do really do wrong?
Well, what he did wrong was was personal, you know.
Exactly.
And because he did it in the White House Oval Office, that's what they said. Oh, he desecrated the office. You
Yeah.
know.
I'm sure he wasn't the only one that did that. Let's be real about the picture. He probably was the 55th person to do that.
Oh no, I mean, look, it was so bad that even Newt Gingrich, the Speaker of the
Yeah,
House at the time, was having an affair with his assistant, his staffer. Okay. Now,
exactly.
even though he later married her, okay, got a divorce and married her, that's not the point. The point of the matter is he was still having an affair himself, and he was
Exactly.
the House that was bringing impeachment charges against Bill Clinton.
Exactly. And I don't know about you, and that could decoration of the house, that can conflict of interest, isn't it? I'm gonna convict of something you already doing. I'm gonna say,
Yeah, but the thing about it is Newt's stuff didn't come out. At least his wife didn't out him or anything like that. All that stuff came out later. You know, but
see,
look, it is what it is. I mean, right now you have Republicans in Congress who want to regulate what laws you can and can't do, but they also now have, you know, they also want to do it themselves. Like the congressman that resigned, I think a year and a half ago.
Exactly.
See that? Remember that he had a side chick that he had got pregnant, and he wanted her to have an abortion,
Exactly.
and she put it out in the public. Remember that? And
Oh,
then he had to resign. He had to resign.
to cover it up. You can't. You can't do. The only player. They cannot do that. You can't cover that over that. Excuse me. Have a question. Wait. I can get this my money from this fool, and nah. Now I become a money cow.
It wasn't even about that. He had signed and approved every pro-life legislation out there. So he was willing to legislate laws for you, but when it came to him, he didn't want those laws for himself.
Of course not.
You see the hypocrisy?
Of course not.
Listen, that's our political rant for today in our
Yeah,
political
we got
talk.
you.
We have a great guest on the show, Mrs. Novi J. She's the CEO of Novi
No
Records.
records.
Novi Records.
Hi
Wel-
guys.
Hey,
Welcome to the
how you
show.
doing?
Hi. How are you?
I'm
How's
doing good,
everybody?
Good.
good, good, good. Thanks for being on the show. Listen, I apologize. Am I saying your name right? Novi J?
Yes, Novi Johnson, but we cut the Johnson halfway off so the name wouldn't be so long. So we
Oh,
just stopped it at Novi J.
nice, nice,
Absolutely.
nice.
Thank you.
Um, Tell us and tell the listeners a little bit about yourself.
Oh, about myself?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
we talking about you today.
All right. Well, myself or Novi Records. I'll just
Oh,
start with myself.
suffer.
Me, um, born and raised in Philadelphia. Went to where did I go? Oh my gosh, I had so many schools in elementary, but after elementary, let's skip to high school. I went to Dobbins, and that's right off of there, off of 22nd and Lehigh Avenue. If you are from Philly, if not, then those who are from Philly knows exactly where that's located. I went there, and when I went there, I took up cosmetology. And about a year after, the whole cosmetology scene, it was like, nah, I don't think I want to do this. So I wound up switching my major and going to taking up accounting. And once I took up accounting, I felt like that was the field that I wanted to be in. And from there, left there and went to college. By the time I went to college, I had 4 kids. I have 4 boys. Um,
Oh wow.
who are ages 21. Yeah, I know. They're ages 21, 19, 18, and 17 at the moment. But back then, graduated
Hold on.
college
You had
2000.
4 boys back to back like that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you heard that right.
I
Oh,
did.
good.
I did.
Good.
I did. And if you and if you are ever at my event, you will see my boys. They're part of my team now. They are old enough
Nice,
to be a part of the team. So, mommy got them. Mommy got them. But yeah,
nice.
I had them and going to college and started working in mental health right after that. I had a degree in accounting, but I started working in mental health. It was really a quick way to earn money because my mother, she was a supervisor for a large company, and I just went into there, did that for 10 years. I said, you know what, I have a whole degree. Let me find somewhere where I could use my degree at. So
All right.
fast forward to about 2013, I was hired at Pep Boys corporate headquarters in Philly. Um, doing billing and accounting in the IT department. So ever since then, I've been there and I'm still here, But in the midst of that, I started to, I don't know, I lost my father the 3 days after my graduation from
Mm,
college, and I tried to work, and become a workaholic just to fill the void, But my dad, he was hip hop. You talking about raw. You talking about everybody always wanted to be around him. He had that, that spirit that just attracts people. Everyone loved him. Everywhere we went, it was it was always a beautiful thing. When it came to my dad, and I just felt like I missed that, So that's what introduced me to where I'm at now, dealing with music and individuals who are in the music scene and artists. People would just come up to me, because they see how passionate I am about music, and I always wanted to actually help, help people,
right.
engage with their music career, engage with others. So And me loving hip hop itself, and R&B, all types of music. My dad really, he gave us a variety of different backgrounds in music. So he would listen to classical music, he would listen to musicals, and so much more than just hip hop and R&B. So I really grew attached to that. So um back in 2006, no, 14, I founded Novi One Entertainment, and that was just me networking a lot, getting to know a lot of people in the industry, mainstream, and just those with bigger names and in the industry locally. And then when I changed it from Novi One Entertainment to Novi Records, because I was ready to manage, I was ready to take on the responsibility of getting artists to become bigger than what they were, you know. So I originally was going to be a record label. That's where the name Novi Records came from. But I just wanted to. I had to sit back for a while, do more research, and my heart and my passion was really to actually help those individuals get to the record labels. I actually wanted to be the one to sit there and either hold their hands or just to guide them in the right paths to get to the major record labels, or if they wanted to stay independent, find a financial strategy to help them earn money along their musical career. So now we're Novi Records, and here we are.
Yeah, wow. It's a long journey.
Woo.
Yeah,
Long
it is.
journey, long journey.
But I'm
Yeah,
glad that you made the journey because a lot of times, we'll sit here and we will work our fingers to the bone, and then we get
yeah,
to a certain place in our life where we're empty.
absolutely.
Where'd the time go? I can't
Hmm.
believe I'm like this. I
Yeah,
thought I was only going to be here a year. I've been here 20 years just fighting for a pension.
there you
And
go.
and that's where, they say our community, we have high blood pressure. We always susceptible to high stress and falling out from strokes and everything because we
Yes.
always work. We always have one or
Yep.
two jobs. We always make sure that,
Yeah,
our kids, our family, our seeds are
that's
taken
right.
care of, that we don't take care of ourselves. So I'm
That's
glad that you
right. That's
finally
so true.
decided to make that jump and do something that you were passionate about. Because as long as you love
Absolutely.
to do it, it will never be a
It's
job.
Exactly.
not work. It's
You know what I
not
mean?
work.
It will never be a job.
And let me tell you, working 9 to 5, I still work 9 to 5 in corporate. I'm still in corporate, and juggling that the corporate life, and then transitioning into, my passionate life. It's two different, two different paces, two different audiences. One is more professional, and the
Right.
other is more street, laid back, and down to earth. And both of them really are me. I'm
Yep.
professional, but I'm also down to earth, and I engage with many people, and that's just what it's about. No negative vibes over this way. I just like to keep it that way. You know what I mean? Because we ain't got time for it. We don't have time for it. And thank God, there was never a fight broken out where we were. When we threw shows and had events and so forth, it was always, everyone came with positivity and, just wanting more. And they saw what we were doing and just wanted to be a part of it. So that's what it's about, man. One hand washing the other, and helping each other out to get further in life, period.
Yep.
Outside of music, if artists need my help, they know they have my help, and I'm there and I'm right on top of it. I work 24/7.
Oh, I know that
It's
feeling.
never just a 9 to 5.
Oh yeah.
So it is
You
what it
said
is. But
something.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it at the end of the day.
Yeah,
And
you
my
said
kids, they
something
are, yeah.
that we had a guest on Vaughn, I think
Yep.
2 weeks ago, and he said
Hmm.
it's collaboration, not competition.
Listen.
You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
that
Yeah.
that statement stuck with me because so many times we get into the competition part of it, we forget that we collaborate with a lot of different things,
Yes.
and
Yep.
collaboration will get you far. That being said, now that you've moved into management and promotion, how many artists right now do you have on your roster that you're managing? And do you think it's easier to keep them independent with so many avenues like Spotify and every place else to sell their music, or shopping them
Yeah.
to a major record label.
Yeah. As of right now, I'm sitting up here. I'm looking at my list because I had to take notes, you know. But I mean, I have 14. I have 14 that I'm managing. And that is, they're not only in Philadelphia, they're also in Atlantic City and down south, um, Georgia. Where else? Oh my gosh, Jersey,
Yeah,
Texas.
that's a big number.
I have a lot.
Yeah,
you
this
know,
is all.
and trying to actually shop them to record labels and such. What we're doing right now, because mind you, we've been in business for about 2 years, and right now we're more or less in the building process. So what
Hmm.
we're doing is a lot of promotional exposure at the moment. So we're doing a lot of traveling and a lot of networking outside of the city of Philadelphia. We've been to Atlanta, we've been to God, we Brooklyn, uh, we've been a lot of places. Las Vegas, we're actually going to on Tuesday. One of our artists from out Vegas that just actually signed on to us, but he's been a part of our production team out there. Has a recording studio for the artists to go to. That's in Novi Records, and I just thank God of for the people who He put in our path because I who would ever knew I would have had connections out Las Vegas. You know what
Right.
I mean? And so it's so as of right now, I do have about one or two artists who have been to record labels and stuff, but they're not offering they're not offering what we're not satisfied with the deals. I'm gonna just say it like that.
Well, let me ask you
Because
a
they
question real
these
quick.
labels right now are trying to really really take advantage of, for one, the opportunity that these artists are lacking, and
Go right into
it's
it.
just
Don't
sad.
don't
It's just
stop.
sad.
That's
I'm
not
not trying
actually
to
my question.
downplay no,
No, no,
I'm not trying to
that's my
downplay
question to
no
you.
record label,
Yep.
because at the end of the
Yep.
day, everyone who is in music, their overall dream is to, hey, I want to be signed to this label. I want to, this is how far I want to go. But they have to
Yeah,
realize when they make that commitment and they sign on, the grass is not green on the other side all the time.
Right.
You're
yeah,
practically, I'm not going to say selling your soul, but you're not going to do what you want to do. At that time and at that very moment, you may get money or you may not get money, but you are entitled to do what it is that that label needs and wants you to do.
Right.
And that's with the contract, and it's a lot of stuff that involves, you know, different different artists. I'm gonna say like
yeah.
that. Different artists has different contracts, and what we've seen so far, we're not happy with it. So we're just gonna
So can
keep
you
it
expand
moving.
on that? And the reason why I say expand
Yep.
on that is because, we have a lot of artists on this show. We've had a lot of independent record labels on this show and record label owners on the show. And
Hmm.
what are you seeing in industry contracts now besides the signing over of their likeness and their rights for in perpetuity, things of that nature? Like, because I always said it, a lot of people don't understand that an artist, when it comes to
Hmm.
record sales, only makes about 9 cents on a record. You know what I
On
mean?
a record.
So yeah.
That's
Yeah.
So no
well
matter
said.
what the label is charging, that's all they get. Artists normally make their money on show money and everything else that they bring to the table, whether it
Hmm.
be endorsements. They don't make money on record sales unless you're
Yes.
Whitney Houston and you
These
sell
Yeah.
artists have to
millions and millions of
realize.
records. Right.
Yeah, they have to really, really realize and pay attention to the small print, and they have to understand that if even if they sign on for $1 million, just let's just say,
Yeah.
you have to pay that $1 million back, and if
That's
you do
right.
Exactly.
not, um, yeah, and if you don't make as much sales as you know was told to make or whatever, and you have to pay that money back regardless. If you flop, you're $1 million in the hole. You
Right.
Yeah.
know what I mean? And those are just the consequences you know that they have to deal with. But everybody wants to be signed. If you are an independent artist, you have control over 9 times out of 10
Yeah.
all of your money. You decide where you want to get it distribute it at, as long as you have a team, who can help you get there. And and some artists grow out of managers. So
Yeah.
I'm just here to help them along the way until they feel comfortable enough. Like, hey, I'm going to make it regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thank you, Novi, for what you have done. I got it from here, and I'm okay with that.
Right.
As long as
Yeah.
I know that I did my job and that their success, can be mimicked through another artist, and and so forth and so forth. And that's just what it's all about. So
That's true.
yeah,
You're right.
these
Well, what?
labels right now. To answer your
Uh-huh.
question, George, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Right
I
now,
want to
I
get
see
back
a lot
to
of
it because
a lot of labels right now need labels right now are struggling. To be honest with you, they actually need the promotion themselves. You understand what I'm
right,
saying? And
right,
they are actually offering deals to where as though they're not even paying artists. For the actual sign on portion. So
mhm,
what
Yeah.
they're doing now, they're actually offering artists a deal in exchange for the artist to use their name. You understand what I'm saying? So they're
Yeah.
not even giving them money anymore. The exchange now is for, hey, you want to be signed to Rock Nation? Okay, let's just say you're signed to Rock Nation. You sign this paper. We're not giving you no money, and we want
Yeah.
50%. We want half of whatever you make, just for
True.
using our name.
Yeah.
And it's so sad, but I mean that's I don't even want to
Yeah.
get on
well, let me ask
that.
you then, is it moving towards
Yeah,
social
yeah.
media? Because I know that a lot of major record labels will sign an artist if
Oh
they have
yeah.
a following of 500,000 people on
Oh
their
yeah. We
social
have a
media
checklist.
platform,
Yeah,
you know, or because I
absolutely,
knew I knew from back in
absolutely.
the day when I used to know people in the industry and work with an artist in the industry that um,
Hmm.
they would give you signing bonuses and they would give you production money bonuses. Well, all that changed
Right.
when you start to master your own records with Pro Tools or Cakewalk on your computer, and all you had to do was just deliver the master.
No. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
See what I mean? So
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
selling even different now because now you can be distributed through DistroKid or whatever distribution platform that's out there to sell your music. You know, um,
That's right.
and they're definitely, definitely,
That's
definitely
right.
struggling. A lot of people don't realize or understand that a lot of major record labels that we had back in the day, I'm talking about
Yeah.
92, 93, 94, 95, 96,
Yeah.
97.
Oh yeah. The good ones.
Yeah. They're all gone or they're all merged or they all been bought up by the
Yeah.
parent company
No.
because, you
Yeah.
know, they couldn't survive. Definitely couldn't survive. What other thing besides
Yeah.
social media swapping are you seeing in record label deals? And this is specifically before a lot of artists that watch our shows that they would know what the
Yeah.
major record labels right now are putting out there.
Right. What
What
was the
else are you
last part?
seeing?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. What other options are you
On
seeing in
social
major?
media.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What other options? I'm sorry. Is the
Oh.
What other options are what?
What other options are you seeing in major record label contracts right now besides the social media component?
Actually, social besides social media, I mean, social they rely on social media.
Right.
Nobody can get. I mean, I'm not going to say nobody, but if you're not out here making noise, shall I say,
Yeah.
building your brand, and if you're not buzzing in the streets, and if you're not seen in every city, or if your name is not circulating, in the algorithm
Yeah.
of the internet, that's what they're relying on. If it's not doing that, then there is no way that they can even know who you are unless you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, and they're
Right.
Yeah.
sliding. They don't have demos anymore. Remember, you used to go to
That's
the
Right.
true.
radio station and
Yeah.
drop off your demo. They
Yeah.
Yeah.
can't do that anymore. So they rely hardly and solely on social media. You have
That's true.
to have a certain amount of followers, because at the end of the day, the record labels are looking at the artist to see, hey, could this person sell out a concert or sell tickets, and sell albums, and
Yeah.
why should we pick them over them? There's a lot of questions, and we do have a checklist for our artists, if they do decide to you know if they do decide to want to sign to a label or whatever. But um, most of my artists right now are independent. I have about
Okay.
3 who wants to, you know, go to a major
So major.
record label.
Okay.
So let me ask you a question, because I used to manage too, way back in the day when stuff was easier, not as hard, complicated. And
Oh,
I had,
okay.
like 4 artists. I had 4 artists. I had 2 singles, a female, a male, in a
Okay.
group, and I had 1 single male. And my question is, how do you manage to maintain the mentality, the mindset, each individual? You have 14. Each individual is a lot different,
Oh,
want a lot more, and want more attention than the other. So how do you manage to do all that and also same time manage to handle your corporate career at the same time?
it took a lot of learning and a lot of patience. It did, because the things that I would used to get upset about when I first started out, you know how you see so much potential in
Yep,
a person, and it's like, oh,
exactly.
you're gonna make it only if you do this, you know.
Yep,
But if they don't do this, you're like, hey, like what's going on? You know, do this and you will get that result. And it's like,
yep,
you know, the more you push, the more they pull, and it's like you become, you know, a lot of back and forth, a lot of friction, and a lot of, you know, and that's where that love hate relationship start to, you know, wander off, and then that's how artists start to fall off, because they feel like, hey, she's pushing too much, or she, you know, wants this and I don't want that, and you know,
yep,
so how I balanced it, I began to lead by example. You understand what I'm saying? Instead of me
yep,
telling my artists to do a certain thing, or to, you know, to go a certain place, or to make sure you have this. I started doing it myself, and then I also started to lean more towards the artists who would listen and would pay attention. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because once they see them succeeding and getting on a ball and see, it made them, oh, okay, so they're starting to do that. So let me get my stuff together. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Right.
Because I trust me, I had many artists. You know, it was a couple of artists that left Novi Records. You know, and you know, no bad blood or anything. It's just that they saw uh, um, other opportunities where they thought were going to get them somewhere, and you know, 9 times out of 10 it didn't. You
Right.
know, but I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is at the end of the day. You know, but yeah, to answer your question, I started to lead by example, and I cannot forget about my team. I actually had to hire a team. You know, it's more of us behind the scenes. It's J Dot, who was actually 20 years in the game, and we actually hired him as a artist advisor because he was an artist himself. You know,
Right.
so by him being an artist, he knows what it takes to. You know, he's actually had label deals and stuff. You know what I mean? But you know,
Yep,
life is life, and hey, life brought him to me, and I'm grateful. You understand what
Right.
I'm saying? And I actually had to hire a personal assistant now. So you know, our team is building. It's not just me, and I'm so grateful. You know, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot
yep,
off of me. You know, because once I put it out there, hey, this is going on, and you know, I need you guys to do that, do that. I have my artist advisor on their behinds, like, listen, she said that get this done. Is this done? She said that we need that. Is that done? You know what I mean? So
Right.
it
Right.
takes a
Right.
team to get these
exactly.
artists to, you know, to get to where they need to be and where they want to be in life. You know, and it's not just about just music. I mean, everyone is passionate about music, but we all have a life. You know, everyone has a
True.
job. All of my artists have jobs. Well, most of them. But yeah, and if they don't have a job, they have their own business. You know, doing something. I don't care if you're selling T-shirts. You know, you
Right.
have to invest in your musical career at some point. I don't know why a lot of people think that once you sign on to whatever, you know, you don't have to put no work in. You definitely
Yeah,
have to work. You know, so
exactly.
yeah, yeah. So,
That's
and that's actually
exactly
one
what
of
I
our
was getting ready to
requirements.
ask.
You have to have a job.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to ask you. Okay. How do you work a
Yeah,
full
that's a
time job
requirement. Oh, to be with
and,
Novi
and
Records, you have to have a job.
right?
Oh
But how
yeah.
do you work a full time
Oh
job
yeah.
and go
Oh,
out to
that's on the
Vegas with the
application. Yeah,
artists
we
and
asked that
everything
on the
else?
application.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. So let me ask you,
Yeah.
when you the shows, like when you doing the shows, like what are your preparations for the show? Your post preparation is preparation. How you get the artist to commit to it, and then you have to cover for the ones who say they're going to do it and don't show up. And how do you deal with that? Because I know me, I had one time I did a show, the artist didn't even show up for the show, and he messed everything up. But I had a
Yeah,
backup plan.
yeah.
So how do you do that when you preparing your concert, your
Listen,
tours?
yeah. I mean, I don't want to tell my secret though, but
Don't
since
just
you asked,
let's leave.
no, I mean honestly, what I learned to do was to actually overbook artists.
Okay.
I overbook artists, and if we have like a 4 or 5 hour block, I make sure I at least have enough artists to fill up, at least half that time. So if all the artists show up, they all have enough time to do what they, have to do. But if even if it's happening, 9 times out of 10, all the artists that I deal with, they
Yeah.
show up. You know what I mean? And they bring people. It's always a great turnout, even when we're outside of the city. Everywhere we went, it was hundreds of people that came out and supported. So I mean, I rarely had an issue like that,
Yeah.
except for if I did it like at a local uh lounge or bar,
Yeah.
because people don't really like to do that. And that's when I
Yeah.
was first starting out. But once I started to learn about the business and the venues and what actually brings the people in, and it began to grow. And I mean, I haven't had a problem since. Yeah.
Nice,
So, but yeah,
Nice.
nice.
that's I overbook artists.
Do you travel with your
Yeah.
artists too?
I'm sorry.
Do you travel with your artists too?
Would you say I couldn't hear you?
Do you travel with the
Oh
artists?
yeah, absolutely. They need the support. Yes, I travel with the artists. Yes, I do. If I cannot, I mean, I'm gonna say 90% of the time. If it's something local, not that I turn my nose up to anything that's local.
Yeah.
It's just like we've done it already. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
if my artists do, would like to do something locally or whatever, depending on exactly what it is, I mean, I'm there for them, without a doubt. But if it's just something that they want to get freshened up for, for our on the road show or whatever, it depends on what I'm doing that day, and it depends on what it is that they're trying to accomplish. So if it's somewhere that we've already been and same crowd, and we already did it before, so it's like I'm here, turn your
Right,
live
right,
on.
right.
Right. Right.
So,
Right.
how do you do that with a full time job?
Oh, I so many people ask me. My mother to this day still asks me. They're like, "How do you do it?" I mean, because it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like work once I leave my job. Once I finish work and I have to do anything that has to do with Novi Records, and even on my lunch break, I'm doing Novi Records stuff. So it doesn't really feel like work. It feels like something that I need done, and I need to do. And I want to do
Right.
it. It's not like, oh man, that could wait. No, I didn't feel like getting on this call, but I wanted to get on this call. I just worked 9 hours today.
We appreciate it. We appreciate
Oh
that.
yeah,
But I
we
did
definitely
like, look,
appreciate
I
you.
fixed my hair a little bit. Oh, look, fixed my hair a little bit, straighten something, and put a little mouth lipstick on. Listen, this is what y'all gonna get.
No doubt, no doubt. We definitely appreciate it.
Oh man. But I got one question for you. So, what are you mentioned before your dad one of the influences? Like, what are your other influences in doing record label, like Bob Gordy or some other prison
Very good.
labels you might mentor, thought after?
Woo. I pay attention to Jay-Z a lot.
Okay.
I do pay attention to Puffy. Um,
You know you
and I pay
old.
attention to the
His name
things
is
that they
P Diddy
didn't
now. He
do.
changed it. Oh,
I know, right? You see,
Yeah,
I'm trying to squeeze out somebody young. Hold on.
no doubt, no doubt.
But
We right up there with you. I knew what you were saying.
I paid
yeah.
attention to. Don't do that to me. Who we got out here? Who look? Now I'm gonna get off of that. Uh, oh man. But yeah, I mean, I pay attention to them a lot. Anybody new? I mean, they at the top right now. So it's about learning from their mistakes, and also um, looking at the path that they took to get their artists to where they needed to be. Because
Right.
I mean, but at the end of the day, what I feel like is I felt like Jay-Z and his artists. I felt like his artists needed to be, if not at his level, but just about at his level. You know what I mean? This is
Yeah,
just me personally. I understand everybody can't come,
yeah,
but it takes a team to uplift each other. And I don't feel like it was enough uplifting. It was oh, you're not gonna do that. Well, then watch me do it, and then you stay back there, and instead
yeah,
of having a conversation to understand exactly why that person is feeling some type of way of doing what they needed to do to get or elevate themselves to the next level. So I just feel like the artists that he had on his platform should have been higher than where they are. I'm gonna just say that. And
Right. Right.
Puffy, I mean, with Pete Diddy, I just feel like a contract is a contract. I mean, it is what it is, and
yeah,
everybody signed the contract, so it's no fault. Once your contract ended, I mean, it's nothing more or less that he can do for you. So I mean,
yeah,
business is business at the end of the day, and I just think a lot of the artists too, they wanted more of a personal relationship.
yeah,
With their managers and with their teams and stuff, and just had to really, really sit back and realize, like, hey, this is the business,
Right.
and
yeah,
business. You can't as an artist, you have to become a business yourself. You have to brand yourself. If you're under a CEO, find out what the CEO is doing to actually brand the brand that you're under. You know what I
Right.
mean? Take
yeah,
steps and learn and communicate with the bosses and with the team, so that you all can be elevating at the same time. It's just not the CEO elevating. I'm bringing my team as well. And if you don't want to come, that's the part I was saying. If you
yeah,
don't want to come, then watch me elevate. You know, but I'm not
exactly.
going to turn my back. Like, hey, oh no, oh now you can't come. No, I'm gonna turn around and pull you up, and what you need to do, and and then we're just going to succeed like that. That's the only downfall I had about Jay Z and Puffy, but they did what they did, and they are where they are, and that's it.
Yeah,
Not
but I'm glad you didn't say some other record label who did a little extensive version of what you just said there. You signed?
I know. You see me try to cut it down,
So
right?
I'm like, hold on. I'm like this.
I cut it down.
Don't say those. Don't say those. But I mean, so knowing all that though, like instead of doing that, you control the mentality. Those personal, you had that personal touch. So I see you had that personal touch to it. Do that sometimes take an emotional strain on you as a person
yep.
to deal with
Oh
everybody
yeah,
else's problem at the same time?
it does, and what I have to rely on right now, are for one God, and for
Yeah,
two my husband, and for three my children. Without them, it takes a family, it takes a village, it takes support, it takes people, like-minded people, and people who are willing to do what it is that they need to do to uplift themselves and uplift you at the same time.
yeah,
You can't be around individuals who's don't really want nothing out of life or just want to ride the bandwagon. No, you could tell by the women who I'm around, and all my girlfriends. I could count them on one hand.
yeah.
We all have jobs, we all have houses, we all have this, and we all have. But it's all about the company you keep, and yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that. Yeah, I like to just cut it off.
I see that. You just,
That's great. That's great.
oh man.
Well,
So
listen, we want to go ahead, Fresh.
I was saying, one more thing actually though, like what is if somebody else wanted to start something similar to what you're doing right now, like what you could tell them and what influence you would give them or tips you would give them to help them a little bit easier process, not go through as much of the downfall and upside and get a little more uplifting versus the downside.
Well, I feel like I just feel like every person that I surround myself with, and if they actually want to level. Are you asking me do they if they want to level up or
Yeah,
do
would you
exactly
help them
what
level up?
I'm doing?
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely, yeah. I would actually take them under my wing, you know, and but our vibe and our chemistry has to be there. You know what I mean? That plays a big part, and I have to make sure that you're organized. I like to be organized. You know,
Yeah.
organization and communication is definitely key to me. You know, if I find, if I feel like you're not an organized individual, or you can't even communicate, we're going to bump heads.
Right.
Because it takes for me. I mean, I jot everything down. If I'm not jotting it down, I'm typing it down. I'm taking notes. I'm doing that. If you're just here and you're just looking around and you have to take notes. You can't say it's all in your head, because then how are you going to reference to it later on?
That's
You know
right.
what I mean? Yeah. So and that's just what it is. But yeah, I would definitely take someone under my wing. I also would like to franchise, but that's a whole nother a whole nother
Hey,
story.
there you go.
Absolutely,
That's good thing too.
absolutely.
Definitely.
That's in the making. I'm actually on the verge of starting an online school. Um,
Okay.
it's an indie music school, which will allow artists to get the training that they need before they actually step foot into the industry. Because there's a lot of things that independent artists, yeah, it's not just about going into the studio, or just rapping and or singing and doing it. No, it's not just about that. It's a lot of parts to this
Right.
business
Exactly.
Right.
that they need to learn, and lack of knowledge is heavy on the independent industry right now. So providing those tools for them is my main focus at the moment, and also you know just finding ways for my artists at the moment to get more exposure, because we're actually my main goal is to get them overseas. you know
Right.
we found out that my artist Cozy Mo Better has a large following over in Africa, which was
Yeah.
exciting to me. And even the artist advisor, he has connections to overseas events and stuff too. So and then I network so much, and I've come across people who could get us over there, but I want us to be right,
Yeah.
because our brand, not just Novi Records, but all of my artists, they carry their own brands, and I need each of their brands to, be right before we even step foot over there. And then plus the
Right.
pandemic too,
Yeah.
so yeah, that plays a big part too. But yeah, yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting.
Absolutely.
I'm just rolling with the punches.
True. That's a question that they sort of forget. How did COVID affect your business throughout this short
You
quick?
know what? It
How did it
affected
affect
it. It really did, because we go on tour. We tour a different city every month. We're in a different city. So when COVID hit, we were too busy worried about, are we even going to survive?
Right.
You know what
you?
I
Yeah.
Right.
mean? Are we going to stay alive? So once we got used to um taking safety precaution, and making sure everyone was okay enough to at least begin to travel. We had to, you know, we took about 7 cities off of our tour,
Hmm.
and we've only visited about 4 in 2020, when it should have been about 12, you know, or more. So, I mean, it affected us, but the places that we did go, we went to Atlanta. We, did a lot of things out there. Where else did we go? I can't even think right now, because we're always on the move. We
Right. Right.
are,
Right.
but yeah, it definitely affected us. We weren't able to travel as much, and it was really sad, because when we did go, we weren't really used to going to a park, but still having to get our temperatures read, and everybody's around in mask, and it was just an experience, we never would have thought of, and it was just, I mean, we still enjoyed ourselves. We still rocked the house. They still want us to come back.
Right.
Novi
Right.
record
Right.
artists did their thing. Don't get that twisted, considering. But, we actually drove down to Atlanta. It took us 16 hours. with all the stops and everything. And we just kind of enjoyed each other's company and learned more about each other and set goals, during that long ride.
Right, right, right.
Like one of my artists, Deuce Wellington, he said, you know what? I want to start a podcast, because he was acting like a radio commentator.
Yeah.
And he was like a host on the van ride. So, they freestyling, they singing. You had Cozy singing a little bit, get hype, along with the rappers. So they making music. And now look, Do Say Radio is he starts his podcast next Wednesday.
Nice.
I'm like, that's good. You spoken into existence. That's what I'm talking about, So that's what it's all about. Family vibes, positive vibes, and just keep pushing to the next level. We were award nominated last year. Well, I'm sorry, 2018 for Movement of the Year. And this year I was nominated for Female Hustler of the Year for the Philly Hip Hop Awards. So, I thank the whole team for all the nominations. And I actually hosted the 2020 Indie Artist Awards. When was it? January? I think it was January or December. Oh, I'm sorry, December 20th. Yeah, it was December 20th on my dad's birthday. Yeah, because I had gave my artist special awards in memory of my father. So it was really, 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 really touching, and it got to really show not just Philly, but artists from everywhere. They were tuned in, and a lot of artists that people haven't even heard of. Were also receiving awards, so it gave them exposure as well. Shout out to No Gun Zone too. He helped my my viewings go up.
Right.
We get shout out everything.
Like, sister, I love what you're doing. I'm gonna help these numbers go up because they need to see you. I said, thank you so much, brother. Yeah, so shout out to No Gun Zone too. So yeah, we Novi Records have a lot of support in the city. I'm glad that I take pride in our name and to make sure that we always come around with positivity, and just spreading the word about just enjoy yourself while you're working. You know what I mean? And you'll get to the next level. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals.
Nice.
So,
Let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
I'm everywhere. Novi Records, Novi Records LLC on Instagram. Also, my personal page on Instagram actually has a little bit more followers than my business page. It's Novi J _CEO. Then it's _Novi Records LLC. And where else? We have the Novi Records admin page and Novi Records promo page. I'm everywhere. But I'm also on Twitter at your girl Novi. You can find me on Facebook also at Novi Johnson. And if you need to contact us, 267-362-9140.
Nice.
And we'll also have I think that's it.
All right. Well, listen, we definitely appreciate you being on the show and sharing that knowledge. It's very important. And
Absolutely.
we would definitely love to have you back for some of those surprise things that you're doing and other shows and shout out and everything else.
Those good nuggets.
I know. It's so much. You see, I'm trying to squeeze everything in, right?
I see that.
I'm trying, y'all.
Definitely
I want to give a
appreciate
shout out to all my artists though before we go. Can I?
Yeah, please.
Sure. All right, so I'd like to shout out my artists: Trap Life G's, Rich Boy, Al B, AC Hood Fella, Rosty, Mr. Hood Music, Samulian, Rico the Caveman, Nolak, Cozy Mo Better, MDE, Pressure, Deuce Wellington, and newly from Las Vegas, Sadi. That's it for now.
All right.
Cairo
I'm get better now.
Georgia, but we gonna talk about her at another time.
Sound good.
We definitely appreciate you being on the show. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
It's a pleasure.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Man, that was a good interview. I like to see people like that, not only hustling and grinding, man, but know what they're talking about, man, and getting it done.
Get it done. Not just talking about it, but getting it done. That's the best way to do it. I like what you said about lead by example. I do the same thing, everything. I ain't gonna tell you what to do unless I'm doing it myself or I can do it.
Yep, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. You know, I teach like that and talk like that, so we don't have to address it with me.
Exactly. That's why
But
we
listen,
get judge. We
yo,
talk
man,
about
we got another show, man. Tomorrow we have Mr. Clarence Brown coming back just in time for
yeah.
Valentine's Day. So y'all
Everybody,
check that show out.
mine was a nugget too. Mine was a nugget I might add in there. I'll
All
tell you
right,
about it. So it might
all
be
right.
surprised.
So we'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I
8
will be
o'clock.
on remote. Frazier will have the board tomorrow. Hey, this is George,
Hey, this is Fred.
and that was Real Talk with George and Frazier. Peace.
Peace.